Welcome to the director's cut.
Take one.
Why did you choose a horse instead of a chair in the beginning of the movie?
So we wanted to represent a more satirical side of Holden that we see sometimes in the book, and we felt that the best way to represent this was through a symbol. So this is his chair. We used the horse also to play out a more playful side of Holden as well.
Why did you dress him in Captain America pajamas?
Because we wanted to add on to this playful side of him in a subtle way. We didn't want to just say something that was not the way that he would say it. We wanted to play into his character in his clothes, and so we decided to use the Captain America to set a playful tone within his clothing.
Yeah, we also later on, or in the passage, Holden talks about how it's embarrassing to be in pajamas in this situation, so we decided to take that one step further and make it kind of embarrassing / humiliating, and we chose to do some funny clothes to again play out that playful side and then just dramatize how embarrassing it is to be in pajamas in that situation.
Why did you choose the actors that played Sunny and Maurice?
So we wanted someone that had an intimidating demeanor, so we chose someone bigger than our actor that played for Holden. We also thought that the actor that played Holden had a preppy look with his hair, and making him a little smaller. And then, if you could tell, Maurice had a little mustache going on, so we thought that played into being a pimp. And then we chose an actor for the prostitute who could have a real good serious face.
Also, she was smaller than both Holden and Maurice, so that gives into...
Yeah, and again, so when they open the door, we have old Sunny standing behind Maurice, which again, we just wanted Maurice to seem like more demeaning.
Yeah.
Which also goes along with the leather jacket.
What does the blank wall that you're behind represent?
So we wanted it to represent loneliness because there's nothing on it. So we wanted it to just be plain, and that plays into also the purity of it and how we just wanted it just to be simple and kind of corresponding with how Holden feels a lot, how he's depressed and he's always feeling lonely, and so we wanted that to just play into the background of the scene.
A mirror of himself.
Why did you use the angle when Holden was laying down on the bed?
We wanted to get a different perspective of him and his facial expressions and stuff. So instead of just doing it parallel to him, we wanted to do, I guess this is parallel, but on top of him from a different perspective.
Yeah, that also just gets us to be able to know Holden a little bit more through our movie.
Can you explain the wardrobe of Maurice and Sunny?
So for Maurice, we decided to go with a classic pimp look, leather jacket, dark hair, dark shorts, and just make him again have a more intimidating demeanor. And then we chose some classic high heels and a jacket for the prostitute, as seen in very many movies. Got the big overcoat and the heels.
Why was the camera pointed up when Maurice came in?
So this was again to show Maurice as the more intimidating character. We wanted Holden to seem smaller in comparison, which is also why we placed the prostitute behind Maurice. We wanted to play out the fact that he does hold some sort of power over Holden, and whether this be just the intimidation factor or the actual physical size of the two actors.
Why was the light off in the beginning of the movie?
It was nighttime during this portion, so that's pretty self-explanatory, but then we decided to just make the obvious change from light to dark. Also, when he's in the dark, he is thinking to himself. Again, just have those lonely and isolating thoughts reflect a dark imagery or scenery.
We wanted to set the spotlight on him and just show how the way, like, the surrounding stuff around him is playing into his thoughts.
That's why we used a flash camera during this portion of the movie to, again, just put a spotlight on our actor.
Can you explain the different voices that Holden has throughout the movie?
Yes, so one of the voices he has is the shaking voice. The word shaking is actually used to describe what kind of voice he has, and this is when he hears the door knock really loud. He's scared and doesn't know what's coming, so he has a shaking voice. And then you can see when he gets frustrated and calls Maurice a moron, he has a stronger voice because he's gained some courage. Even though he is getting beat up, he gets angry and is able to change his tone of voice.
Playing on with the shaking, you can hear it when he's crying, so it just kind of represents how afraid he feels right now.
And also when he's alone and he's thinking, you hear the reflection in his voice. You hear him pensive and calm and thoughtful.
Why did the light turn on when he gets thrown on the wall by Maurice?
So Holden starts out scared of Maurice and old Sonny. And then when he gets shoved against that wall, that light flickering is the anger turning on, because later in those scenes you can see how he begins to fight back and he begins to yell at Maurice. So we wanted to, okay. we wanted to be able to represent how it's not something you can really say, but you can see how he goes from scared to angry, and that little flip of the switch turns the anger on.
Also, it's kind of like a spark was like ignited in him, like the way he was
Sparks
feeling,
flew.
feeling that he changed, like right when that happened.
Yeah. All right, that was the director's cut. Thank you to our wonderful actor, Ricky Villarreal. We'd also like to thank Jessica Bedoya for putting up with us, Claire Audley for our filming, Riley Hector, co-director, me, director, Sophie.
Vincent, my brother.
Featuring Vincent Villarreal as Maurice, Jessica Bedoya also as Old Sonny, and Sophia Cobb as the angle and lights person.
Lights person.
Take, cut.